the holiday season. It's snowing on cue, and all I want to do is bake something delicious and then set it on fire. I'm going to make a rum baba that is so much better than your average fruitcake. First thing I'm going to do is proof the yeast. I'm going to add some warm water. You want it just a little bit warmer than you. And then I have sugar, and this is just yeast. The reason people used to proof yeast is that when you would buy processed yeast, you weren't sure if it was alive. It often died in the processing. These days, we're pretty sure it's alive, but I'm gonna proof it anyway so that we are 100% sure. And it's gonna take about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll start to see foam on top, and then I know that it's just fine. It's alive! I'm gonna add eggs one at a time. If you do it one at a time, they're gonna incorporate better, and also they won't splash up in your face. Now I'm just gonna add all-purpose flour, salt, and then what makes it a cake and not a bread? Lots of butter. And you want your butter to be not too soft, but it shouldn't be right out of the fridge. So that's it, that's the cake batter. All I'm gonna do is just cover it with some plastic, and I'm gonna bring it to a warm place so that it could rise. I'm gonna grease up this bundt pan, and you have to make sure your butter is nice and soft so that it can really get into those crevices. So I'm pouring about half of the dough. This doesn't look like much, but it's gonna rise again. So this is just bittersweet chocolate. I just chopped it up. And here's the tricky thing. I don't want the chocolate to touch the sides of the pan because it's gonna burn and you're gonna get that icky burnt chocolate flavor. So you wanna make sure to put it right in the middle. I think traditionally with a baba au rhum, you're supposed to use raisins. But really, which would you rather eat? And then the rest of the dough goes right on top. So this is what it looks like after it's risen. And now I just have to bake it. This looks good. So you always want to unmold a cake that's baked in a bundt pan while it's still a little bit warm, because once it cools completely, it kind of solidifies and then it starts to stick again. So I let this cool for about 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, nice. While that was cooling, I whipped up a little brown sugar syrup that I spiced. So I just took some brown sugar, brought it to a boil with some water, and I added fresh ginger, cinnamon, orange peel. Now it wouldn't be a baba au rhum without the rum, right? So this is the part where I add some good dark rum. I'm gonna add half a cup of it, and I use this to soak the cake. I know this seems like a lot of liquid for this cake, but this is a very porous cake. It can take it. Some of it, however, is going to run off. And this is why I have the baking tray, so it can catch the liquid, and then I can brush it on top. Were you worried about the fact that the top of the cake didn't get any syrup love? Give it a little bath, and onto the platter. This syrup here is gonna be like a little sauce. And now the fun part. Setting this on fire. So this is the kind of thing you want to do when all of your guests are gathered around. I'm just going to warm up my rum, then I'm going to tilt it. It's going to catch fire. Can you see it? Like, how cool is this? This is pretty cool. And then that's it. Flame is gone. You've had your little pyro experience, and now I'm going to actually serve the cake. And I've just got some whipped cream that I've whipped with some creme fraiche for tang, and then that syrup. Be generous with the syrup. Really, that's the best part. This is so much better than fruitcake.